day of our Fit India School Week. The event is going to start with English debate presentation by the students. It will be followed by symposium. Then at last but not the least, we have open letters by our guest of honor Mr. Virender Sharma, ICC umpire, Director Birla Education Trust, and Mr. Sanjay Srivastava.
Debate provides experiences that are conducive to life-changing, cognitive and presentational skills. Usually, debating is seen as a form of verbal swordplay, win or lose scenario, where the winner wins by convincing the other parties or by completely undermining the opposing arguments. But here, during these challenging times, students of Birla School Pilani have given a new dimension to debating competition. The topic of the English debate was re-strengthening of the mind is the only way out to be at ease from the repercussions of COVID-19 pandemic.
And it's a matter of great pleasure that our budding debaters have come up with concrete and innovative suggestions and way outs on combating the after effects of COVID-19 pandemic. They expressed the information and opinions in an effective and impressive manner. A large number of enthusiastic debaters participated in this English debating competition and presented their views and arguments in the favor and against the motion. So here comes the heated arguments of the students.
How would you explain that why some people are at ease during their toughest times? Greetings to all. I'm Himanshu from class 9th A, here to present my views in favor of the given topic. Coronavirus or COVID-19, a disease stealing lives, spreading negative vibes. A minuscule virus, however, a colossal albatross, blatantly wreaking havoc across the sphere. Fear, anxiety and stress are common responses to COVID-19. It has damaged our mind as bolt out of the blue and squeezed ecstasy out of it, leaving us down in the dumps. But we can be over the moon. I think the holy grail of COVID-19 isn't our physical death, it is our mental death. So it becomes our necessity to strengthen our mind, as it is the backbone of this war against the pandemic. I advise not to take coronavirus too perilously or to make a negative effect in our mind. And our Indian sciences also state that the thing we usually worry about will surely happen to us. A mere panacea to grapple these negative thoughts is to strengthen our mind. It's all Greek to me that why my fellow friends don't understand a single thing, that without a powerful mind with positivity, how can we be at ease? Is this fact abstruse? They state immunity and some necessary precautions can make us find ourselves at ease. I agree that immunity and some precautions are puissant, comprising of daily routine exercise, proper nutrition, practice of social distancing, and wearing a mask. All of them should be stalwart to a strong determination, which how on earth can be accomplished with a fragile mental health? My dear friends, open your blindfolded eyes and be in the world of wise. We are the one to fight it, even if unable to sight it. We are the one with plenty of hope, and we will win by being at the top. We are the one to make our fears bind, only if we just re-strengthen our mind. Thank you very much.
Greetings to everyone. This is Kritika Bhatnagar from 11th grade of BHS, here to speak in favor of the motion that re-strengthening of the mind is the only way out to be at ease from repercussions of COVID-19. COVID-19 will reshape our world. We don't yet know when the crisis will end, but we can be sure that by the time it does, our world will look very different. As we know, COVID-19 being a pandemic since the beginning of the year, On scientific grounds, coronaviruses are a group of related RNA viruses that causes respiratory tract infection. It is still an ongoing global pandemic of coronaviruses. Some of my opponents suggested that mindset is not the only way to ease from this. I want to tell them, no matter where you live, your routine has likely been disrupted in, in some way by making your mental health as a top priority. During the times of high stress and uncertainty, you may find that a few proactive measures will help you to feel much better. But if you don't feel like your strategies are working, then reach out to a professional. Talking to someone could be the key to help you manage your distress during this pandemic. A few small steps can make big improvements in your mental health. My worthy opponent believes that we can't restrain or adjust our mind, but I would like to remind them. Many of us use worrying as a tool for trying to predict the future and avoid nasty surprises. Worrying can make it seem like you have some control over uncertain circumstances. You may believe that it will help you find a solution to your problems or prepare you for the worst. Maybe if you just agonize over a problem long enough, you just think through over every possibility or read every opinion online, you will find a solution and be able to control the outcome. Unfortunately, none of this works. Now, I want to ask how to strengthen the mind. So, the answer to it is by being calm or staying mentally, physically, and emotionally fit. For mental and emotional fitness, the only requirement is yoga, and for physical fitness, the only necessity is exercise. At the end, I would like to quote Harivansh Rai Bachchan's poem, Neer Ka Nirman Fir, to strengthen my views that my positive thinking to strengthen our mind will help us be at ease. Thank you.
A warming welcome to all of you. I am Abhigyan of Birla School Pilani, and today I am going to speak in favor of the topic re-strengthening of the mind is the only thing out to be at ease from the repercussions of COVID-19 pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic has led to a dramatic loss of human life worldwide. This has brought unprecedented efforts to the Institute, the practice of physical distancing in countries all over the world, resulting in changes in national behavioral patterns and shutdowns of usual day-to-day functioning. The after effects of COVID-19 pandemic has put all the world in great tension. The deterioration in mental health is of great concern. According to a survey conducted by WHO, 1 in every 5 people is a patient of one of the mental illness, and the age group of 18 to 28 is the greatest in number. Many countries' government have set up mental illness camps to support people suffering from any type of mental illness. People need to understand that any vaccine won't be helping them in fighting any mental illness. It will just be helping them to stop the spread of the virus. They will have to fight those social changes that have occurred to them during the lockdown period. The only thing that will help them to fight those social behavioral changes is their mind. During the COVID-19 period, people have lost their belief in their mind. They have started doubting every decision taken by their mind. This is damaging their life. They need to start re-strengthening their mind and start believing in those decisions taken by their mind, because these are the only decisions that will help them to be out at ease from the repercussions of the COVID-19 pandemic. So not just strengthen your immunity, strengthen your mind also. Thanks.
Hello everyone, I am Shan Roy from class 9B, and I am here to put some light on the points which are against the motion, which is re-strengthening of the mind is the only way to be at ease from the repercussion of COVID-19 pandemic. I would be speaking against the topic. First of all, I don't think this is the only way we can fight this pandemic, as immunity is more important than mental health. In some way, it does affect the negative impact of the pandemic, but where, when, and how it affects you is nothing compared to what other diseases cause, like diabetes, respiratory diseases, and cancer. And the reports also show that the people who have mental disorders are more than that of the people who have tested positive for COVID, and the difference is in tens of millions. Mental health is important and is a very sensitive matter that needs to be talked about in a country that we live in, but not on the grounds of an international health emergency like COVID-19, where people are already very tensed. At these times, it's better to be fit physically and mentally, and hope for the best.
Of the day. This is Desh Pandey of class 8th A, and today I am going to present my opinion in favor of the motion on the topic re-strengthening our mind is the only way to be at ease during the COVID-19 pandemic. I remember that my friend used to complain that due to workload, he could not get time to follow his passion, that is learning musical instruments. Then came the pandemic and suddenly he had a lot of time. Initially he enjoyed it, but once again he started complaining. Then he realized that the problem was not that he did not have enough time, but that it was with his state of mind. How do we know that proper state of mind is important? The legendary scientist Stephen Hawking is probably the best example to show this. He had a rare disease which paralyzed him completely. He could not move or even talk. But we all know that he was a worthy successor to Isaac Newton and that he had discovered a lot of new phenomena. He was able to do all this only because he had a strong mind and he knew that it was this only that mattered, his body almost being irrelevant to him. Another example is that people live on areas like the Himalayas with huge elevations and freezing temperatures. How do they do this? They are able to live here only because they tell their minds that the temperature does not matter. It's their determination that helps them succeed. Now you might be wondering how we can re-strengthen our mind. The only way to re-strengthen our mind is by following various things, such as developing a schedule and sticking to it religiously. The schedule can have dedicated time towards things like developing new hobbies and following them religiously. We can also equip ourselves with new skills. Being proactive is also one of the most important things, as this helps us in getting control of our surroundings and in also getting a sense of energy. Another way of re-strengthening our mind is by doing yoga, meditation and exercising regularly. Concluding this, we should not be depressed or feel sullen. We should take this as an opportunity to learn various new things, spend time with family, etc. After all, this is an opportunity. We can learn new things. We have learned cost saving, and now we have an appreciation of proper time management, rest, and most importantly, of the proper state of mind. Thank you.
Keep calm because pain makes you stronger, fear makes you braver, and heartbreak makes you wiser. Good morning to all my respected teachers, principal sir, and my dear friends. Today, I, Lucky Kuldiya from class 11th, is here to speak on the topic re-strengthening of the mind is the only way out to be at ease from the repercussions of the COVID-19 post-pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic awakes stress and anxiety. A global pandemic awakens countless emotions. Such emotions are usually not positive. Therefore, the top priority in the process is to get our mind in order. Because when mind is weak, the situation is a problem. When mind is balanced, the situation is a challenge. And when mind is strong, the situation becomes opportunity. No matters whom we are and in which stage we are in our life, the thing is the stress which is always going to find us mostly here and there. But how we react and behave makes the ultimate difference. It is an outlook in such a situation which helps us to emerge as a winner. Although it is not easy, but we human beings have inherently wired to manage stress. In the current time, almost every human life is affected by COVID-19. It brings immense fear and uncertainty in our minds. We fear about our family, our health, and our jobs, and what future holds for us. Each day, many innocent people are succumbing to this virus, but we should not forget that many are coming out as winners. Although the environment of uncertainty is there, but we need to make an effort to make ourselves and our families stress-free. As a part of global response to the pandemic, the citizens of the many countries have to stay at home. However, prolonged isolation can take its toll on the mental health. But finally, we have to cope up with the stress and anxiety while stuck at home. So, at last but not least, I want to conclude myself by saying that don't discriminate against health workers. Health workers deserve our respect and gratitude. Thank you.
Is the re-strengthening of the mind only way out to be at ease from the repercussion of COVID-19 pandemic? I think not. Good morning everybody, myself Mansi Dagar and I'm here to present my views on the given topic. As we know, nobody is unaware of the COVID-19 pandemic which has halted our normal life and people across the globe are fighting it. But during this pandemic, people has lost their jobs which has affected them mentally as well as financially. And now it's time for them to make themselves stronger. But the strengthening of the mind wouldn't help in satisfying their hunger, for which they have to go out and start working again. But by following some safety measures provided by government, doctors and specialists, for example, social distancing, wearing masks in public, frequently sanitizing hands, and work from home if possible. Along with this, we have to take care of our physical fitness by exercising, yoga, meditation, and it is placed and focused more than mind because a healthy mind develops only in a healthy body. We have to take care of our diet during this pandemic because the food we eat and what we drink affects our body's ability to prevent, fight and heal from the viruses or diseases which attack the body. Also, sir, the funny thing is that my opposition speaker is telling us to re-strengthen our mind. But that is one of the best things happened during the pandemic, is that our minds are much more advanced and developed than they were ever before. The people have found different ways to work for offices by staying at home. There is this online trend of some devices, some online shopping, electronic transactions has increased rapidly. Schools are trying their best to provide education to students and continue doing it by the means of online classes. And there are a lot of things to say, but there is this fact that every crisis brings a chance to rethink the path undertaken by humanity and the construction of society. And COVID-19 is one of them. And at last, by resting my words, I would say that the best thing COVID-19 can do to us is that teach the lesson that we are in this together. Thank you.
Hello with a very warm full greeting to everyone behind their cameras. Myself Vedanjas was studying in Birla School Pilani in class 12C. So we're gonna speak on a topic that is very important to know and have a real life meaning. And it's not just way too easy to present a speech on it in the favor or the against, as the topic re-strengthening of the mind. It's not just way too easy, but because some people succeeds in their life by making their mindset stronger and focused enough so that they could collect their dreams. And in other case, some people have a lack of performance or the platform, or we can say they have a lack of focus in their dreams. And nowadays, due to this lockdown period, they have lost their faith too in their arena. But we can make them try to believe in our words. It's not that they just cannot do it. They just needs an example they can work upon, that on which they can work upon, so that they could make them life successful. And it is well said that a failure makes you successful and the most experienced person in your life. Even if you got some lines, sitting sad and shouting your problems and tensions in the life is way too easy. But the other way to show your tension is doing a lot of hard work. If you do a lot of hard work, people think you are in tension, and that's why you are doing a lot of hard work without using your brain. Just because if we do a smart work, it doesn't require a hard work. So you are not using your brain in that case if you are doing a lot of hard work. So you have to firstly believe in yourself that you can do a smart work instead of hard work. So the best way to get out of this tension and the re-strengthening of the mind is to get to your hobbies. What are your hobbies? Go explore the world, get everything that you need, play everything that you get, and just enjoy your life. Because relaxation time, do positive things, talk with the positive people. You will get a best idea from their mind. Just because they didn't think of being failure, they have been failed little times or many a times, it doesn't matter. They will tell you their story. You can relate their story in your story, and then you can make your own story, a new one and a greater one, with a greater experience and a very bright future. So it's really hard because re-strengthening of the mind is very difficult, but I am in the favor of the topic and hope so everybody would be, just because this is the only way in this pandemic and getting out of this pandemic. So thank you.
During our darkest moment that we must focus to see the light. Good morning everyone, myself Mudhusir again. I am here to endorse the idea that the restraining of the mind is the only way to be at ease from the COVID-19 pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic had led to a dramatic loss of the life worldwide. It has led to the uncertainty in our life. It is very important to know that this uncertainty is actually the repercussion of this COVID-19 pandemic. Although the uncertainty is all around us, never more so than today, but the COVID-19 pandemic has led to the heighten this uncertainty over the finance, employment, economy, and eminently the physical and the mental health. It has drained us emotionally and trapped us into endless spirals of the what ifs and the worst case scenario, what tomorrow may bring. What next, what to do, what can so happen are some of the most common questions in one's mind. What are the answer to this question? The most common answer to this question are that we have to re-strengthen our mind. It is because we have to control our anxiety and the stress, because more than this COVID-19 pandemic, these are killing us from our inside. If you feel overwhelmed by the uncertainty and the worry, it's very important to know that we are not alone. Many of us are actually in the same boat at this time. It's important to realize that no matter how helpless and the hopeless we feel, there are steps that we can take to control the uncontrollable circumstances. There are two of the healthier which are as follows. The first one, we say that taking action over the things which are within our control. Actually, what is happening is that life is uncertain at the moment and many things remain outside of our control. As we can't control the spread of the virus, the recovery of the economy, but what we can do is actually, instead of worrying about the uncontrollable circumstances, is to just focus on taking on the action on the aspect that are within our control. Just taking an example of a person who had recently lost his job and now he's also had no income at his home during this difficult time. It is very important to him to control his emotions and to control over how much energy he can put in searching over for the work online for the work. And the second and the most important point that most of the people forgets in such a difficult circumstances is to focus on the present. Uncertainty is centered on the worries about the future and all the bad thing that you can anticipate happening. One of the surest way to overcome worrying about the future is to just focus on the present. Instead of predicting what might happen, we have to just we have to just switch our attention to the what's happening right now. Just for an example, we can start a mindful practice by following an audio meditation or incorporating in an exercise, just like as walking. At the end, I would just like to say to my opposition that this re-strengthening of the mind is the only hope for us, because without the re-strengthening of the mind, we can't able to live our life, as we don't have any vaccine available yet for the public use. Here, the re-strengthening of the mind plays the role of the vaccine as to recover us from it and to be at a distance from it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Stay home, stay safe, and stay fit.
To make change, we must have re-strengthen our mind, but to complete the change, we must have energy and persistence towards the change, because it's the process, not the beginning, that is difficult. Good evening, everyone. Today I will be speaking against the topic that is re-strengthening of the mind is the only way out to be at ease from repercussion of COVID-19 pandemic. In 2020, everyone is disturbed, and along with that, economy, business, employment, all are scattered completely, leading to more stress, anxiety. Now the question arises, how will people deal with this pressure, and how will people change and grow in the wake of pandemic? Answer of these questions are still unknown. Only one, that we have to accept the fact that COVID-19, and by keeping ourselves fit and active, we have to fight with the pandemic. In this edition, we look at how virus will continue to test our mental strength, but our social relationships aggravate existing inequalities in society, push for a greater sustainability, and demand new ways for us to thrive in 2021. As we all know, the most affected sector in education is education. And in India, 320 million students have been affected by the COVID-19 school closures, and not unknown from the fact that only 23.8% of Indian households had internet access. And to ensure that we all get benefited by the online classes, not only government but private companies can also contribute by providing time, support, and financial resources to assist in developing online classes. That can't be done automatically with just re-strengthened mind, but when we do not have resources to cope up with the post-pandemic situation. But education is not the only thing that is affected. So along with re-strengthening of the mind, it's very important to rethink and redevelop our resources to overcome this situation. As well said, when life hands you lemon, make lemonade. So by just having strengthened mind that I want to make a lemonade, first we should know that how to make a lemonade. At last but not least, we must rethink the future of each and every life affected by this pandemic, and should take serious steps to overcome from repercussion of COVID-19 and ensure that our new normal is better one.
Our mind is a garden, and thoughts are like seeds. One can grow flowers or weeds. Greetings to the jury. I, Khushbu, feel honored to have been given the opportunity to speak against the motion on the given topic. Re-strengthening of the mind is the only way out to be at ease from the repercussion of COVID-19 pandemic. Someone has correctly said that health is wealth, and nothing is supreme than what health stands at the present moment. A healthy person lives more happy and peaceful life than a rich person having diseased body. The pandemic has taken many lives all over the world. The lockdown imposed owing to the threat has also put a great strain on the economy. People who are involved in unorganized sector are at a great risk of losing their jobs. And even basic needs of some are being not met by the government. Sports and tournaments have been cancelled and postponed on a large scale. Moreover, if I talk about 7 pillars of the society, then education is being given the utmost importance. Nowadays, we all are enjoying virtual classes, but sitting in front of screen, scrolling internet throughout the day has not only affected us mentally, but physically also. We all are becoming lethargic and unhealthy day by day. And my friends are continuously talking about re-strengthening of mind. I want to just ask a simple question. What is health? Is it only about a strong mind? No, health is not only about strong mind. It also includes the physical and social well-being of a person. You have heard about a shloka, Udyamyen hi siddhyanti karyani ne manorathai, nahi suptasya singhasya pravishanti mukhe mrigaha. Means work acts accomplish only by efforts and not merely by wishing and thinking. as the animal does not enter in a sleeping lion's mouth. Further, my opposition is talking about increase in suicide rate, though I admit we commit suicide only when we are mentally disturbed. But may I ask who is responsible for this disturbance? Will you blame the society, or rather I say the negativity and fear in the society due to the pandemic? And how will you overcome all these problems? The answer is quite simple. We must have a positive attitude, and for that we should not believe in the rumors and disinformation. Stay informed. One more argument is also being raised, and that is staying at home is another challenge for us for remaining physically fit. Actually, problem is not staying at home. Problem is getting up early in the morning and doing exercise and meditation. And for being physically fit, we don't need to join any gym or yoga classes. We can do it at home by ourselves, doing exercise, meditation, and just a simple change in our diet. In a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is our mind and body are not separate. What affects the one affects the other. And to enjoy wealth, we must have a good health. So keep the body in a good health to protect yourself from the repercussions of COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead.
What if the things are wrong? You know that you are strong. What if the light is dim and the situation is grim? You have to be positive and everything else is going to be fine. That's the only prayer in life. It's really divine. So keep a positive frame of mind. A very good morning to one and all present here. Respected judges, my dear teachers and friends, I am Himani from class 9th F, standing before you all today to present my views in the favor of the motion. That is, re-strengthening of the mind post-COVID-19 is the only way out to be at ease from the repercussions of the pandemic. Since early March this year, the entire human race has come across an unprecedented and untoward situation caused by the pandemic. Indeed, it has caused a devastating social and economic disruption. However, the most prominent issue which has emerged during this period and has set itself as the need of the hour for post-pandemic is that of the mental health concerns worldwide. Although the fact is much clear and lucid to us that only a healthy mind is the key to a well-developed society ultimately. Ironically, it's clearly evident why the lack of awareness and the stigma associated with the issue has made the problem even more worse. According to Dr. Tainton D, Editor-in-Chief of Asian Journal of Psychiatry, a tsunami of mental illness is sure to exist in the aftermath of the pandemic. Now, I would like to mention the repercussions of the wrath of this deadly coronavirus, which would then strengthen the arguments. The stringent lockdowns and social distancing protocols introduced worldwide in order to stop the infection have been responsible for causing anxiety, anger, depression, alcohol abuse, behavioral changes such as social isolation. Not just this, these symptoms are likely to last from several months up to 3 years after the quarantine period. There has been a sudden surge in domestic violence against women during this period, which has had a negative psychological impact on them. The sudden closure of schools has also caused emotional insecurities in children and fear and anxiety in the parents. When I talk of all the impacts, how can I not include the global economic recession, which is not merely a repercussion of this pandemic, but also the causative factor of unemployment, job losses, further resulting in increased suicidal behaviors and many mental disorders. Moreover, the healthcare professionals too have faced great implications of this COVID-19, causing depression, insomnia and stress disorders to be prevalent in 60% of the physicians, nurses and medical workers. To add insult to the injury, the stigma against the survivors of COVID-19 infection has resulted in harassment, stereotyping, discrimination, social isolation, which definitely has disturbed their mental well-being. Through all these arguments, I have sought to bring in limelight the utter importance, the immense need of re-strengthening the minds of people to bring back the positivity and tranquility if we want to be at ease from the repercussions of COVID-19. At the end of my debate, I would like to quote a few beautiful lines. Positivity does not change the contents of your mind. It widens the span of possibility that you see. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you all for sharing your views. Symposium is an occasion at which people meet in order to discuss on a particular topic. It is a sort of panel discussion. It helps to improve one's thinking, listening and speaking skills. It also promotes confidence level. It is an effective tool in problem solving, discussion making and personality assessment. With this, we have the symposium on the topic Re-strengthening of mind post-pandemic.
The secret to change is to focus all your energy not for fighting the old but building the new. 8 months have passed since the World Health Organization WHO declared COVID-19 a pandemic. Hundreds of millions of people lived through lockdowns. Many have made the abrupt shift from working from home, and many millions have lost their jobs. The future seems very uncertain. We don't know when or if our society will return to normal, or what scars the pandemic is going to leave. What are the greatest unknowns that we have right here? How we will work, live, or thrive in the post-pandemic future? Or how the COVID-19 has reshaped our world, potentially, forever? No doubt, life is full of uncertainty. It may seem stormy now, but rain does not last forever. We'll pass through all this if we treat the challenges which are in front of us as opportunities to serve others. And it will all pass like that if we accept. And it all starts with the assumption that the world is much bigger than what is in front of us. So here we are to discuss how we can re-strengthen our mind in post-pandemic era. Now, my fellow friends will point out some things about this topic.
Thank you, Anshika. I fully agree with you and would like to continue further. Greetings everyone. Today I, Namya Gupta of class 7th of Birla School Pilani is here to present my views on re-strengthening of the mind post-pandemic. Life has been filled with uncertainty during the coronavirus pandemic. It has heightened skepticism over economy, employment, finance, relationships, and most importantly, physical and mental health. Yet, as human beings, we need to feel safe and have a sense of control over our lives and well-beings. We must also appreciate what the pandemic has taught us. It has taught us equality, humanity, kindness, sharing and caring. It has given us a chance to learn new skills and enhance our talents even more. As always said, we must look at the positive side. It gives us strength and hope. At the end, I would like to conclude with a poem that would keep us going. Let's take a pledge to not even cross the edge of our garden's hedge. The police is on guard, so don't think that you will get a chance to escape. Coronavirus, a deadly disease, is spreading all over the world with ease. But if you wash your hands hard, it will cease. And remember to cover your face when you are about to sneeze. The rules, very important and are not to be broken. In our hearts and minds, we need to be alert and awoken. But still, if you are attacked, stay positive and fight back. The people who fought and saved themselves are more than a lack. And even if you are forced to go out, wear mask and carry a sanitizer as your scout. Thank you.
Good evening everyone. As we all are missing our school, friends and teachers due to this pandemic, sitting at home has produced a different life and state of mind. Me Bhavya of class 6A is here to discuss with you various ways to feel stressless. The COVID-19 pandemic has evolved stress and anxiety among the people. If one wants to get rid of this stress, one has to maintain a positive state of mind throughout this crisis. Mind exercise can play a vital role in training of the mind and helping in relieving stress. Meditation can be one help in doing so. One can engage himself in doing some task which they are interested in. One can find solace in connecting with their loved ones. There are many things out of control during a pandemic. Taking proper care of health and diet can give strength to the mind. Uncertainty can leave you feeling stressed, anxious, and powerless over the direction of your life. It can drain you emotionally and trap you in a spiral of endless what ifs and worst case scenarios about what tomorrow may bring. Do not be panicked. There are always people who touch your life in some way or other. They show gratitude, compassion, warmth, stress management. We need to take a break from our routines to help someone who needs our supports and care. We too can make a difference to the life of others.
We are all different in how much uncertainty we can tolerate in life. Some people seem to enjoy taking risks and living unpredictable lives, while others find the randomness of life deeply distressing. But all of us have a limit. If you feel overwhelmed by uncertainty and worry, it is important to know that you are not alone. Many of us are in the same boat at this time. It is also important to realize that no matter how hopeless and helpless you feel, there are steps you can take to better deal with uncontrollable circumstances, alleviate your anxiety, and face the unknown with more confidence. Nothing is certain in human life. We must always prepare to meet the uncertainties of life because future is always uncertain. No one before 1 year could have anticipated that coronavirus, known as COVID-19, would take the entire world in its grip with disastrous consequences both for human lives and economy of the world. To meet this challenge, we prepared ourselves and took precautions in the form of using masks, observe social distancing, and keep ourselves clean. Not only physically, but also make our mind strong enough to meet this challenge, because fear is not the solution to meet and face the challenge posed by COVID-19. It is therefore essential that we should be determined and have a dogged will to say that come what may come, we will destroy this coronavirus and free the humanity and the people of the world from this deadly virus. It is curious that although the world has not been successful in developing an effective medicine or some injective solution or some result to cure this disease, but still the people are being cured irrespective of their age groups. It is heartening to know that the percentage of death in our country is 0.1% compared to other countries who have suffered immensely and their death rates are very high. The highest being in USA, we have been able not only to contain the spread of this virus, but also ensure that apart from saving the human lives, the economic value, activities and values and our trade and business do not suffer. There is a saying, "Jo dar gaya, so mar gaya." We cannot adopt an ostrich-like approach, but have to face the challenge thrown by the coronavirus. Victory will be ours and there is no doubt about it.
This uncertainty may continue post-pandemic as well. It's a natural and unavoidable part of our lives. Very little about our lives is constant or totally certain. In fact, the beauty of life lies in the fact that it is uncertain and unpredictable. Life can change very quickly and very unpredictably. You may have suddenly become sick, lost your job, or found yourself struggling to put food on the table or keep your family safe. It's not that it cannot be controlled over. Different people use different techniques to deal with it. Some of us use worrying as a tool for trying to predict the future and avoid nasty surprises that we might come across. You may have adverse impacts also, because worrying is not always fruitful. There are healthier ways to cope with uncertainty, like focus on controlling those things that are under your control, challenge your need for certainty, reduce your anxiety and stress levels, take it as an opportunity rather than as an opposite situation and a cause of distress. We should escape from getting into mental chaos and also understand the importance of mental health because it can help us change our attitudes and approaches towards our lives. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Narendra, class 6B, Birla School Pilani. My topic is re-strengthening of mind post-pandemic. COVID-19 has greatly affected our lives. Looking back at our lives, it is hard to believe the event that went by. The pandemic taught us many lessons, including the fact that health is both physical and mental fitness. Now, since things are getting back normal, we should engage ourselves in thinking new ways to re-strengthen our mind post-pandemic. Practicing yoga and meditation can be a great way to re-strengthen our mind and mental peace. In the end, I would like to conclude by saying that mental fitness is the only key to happiness. Let's take care of ourselves and also our family to avoid any future situations like Sushant Singh death. Be aware and hope for a brighter tomorrow. Thank you.
My friend has given very good points. I also want to add something more. If you have lost your job or income during this difficult time, you still have control how much energy you put into searching online for work. The pandemic highlighted the power of technology and digitalization. The fourth industrial revolution holds the promise to change the world for the better and the post-pandemic. We are in a unique position to drive digitization. We can fully leverage the opportunity of technology and digitization post-pandemic. To make change, you must find energy to not just start but complete the change. It is all about energy and persistence. You must feel energetic and resilient by controlling your emotions. Many people lose their job due to this pandemic. This is curse for all living beings. This may be accompanied by a sense of shock given how rapidly to you by the pandemic. This virus is affecting our life and lifestyles in unexpected ways. But nothing is in our hand right now and we can't do anything. But the only way is left is, instead of thinking what you had in your past, think what you can control now. And that will be your strength during this pandemic, and that's the only way to survive during this pandemic if you also have losing your job. Thank you.
Respected teachers, I am Poha Chandip from class 6A. After pandemic, it will be a major challenge to the whole world. How to re-strengthen our minds, how to refresh our minds. Because during the pandemic, life has come to a halt. Classes have been suspended, markets, outings, normal movement of life have been interrupted, becomes limited. We all know that only a healthy mind can lead to positive thinking. Hence, it is very important for us how we deal with our minds, how we motivate ourselves to remain positive. Hence, after pandemic, it will be our prime duty to bring ourselves back to normalcy again. To continue with positive thinking, we must have a healthy body, and for that, it is obvious. We concentrate on healthy food and do regular physical exercises. Only through a daily routine of our activities, we can have a healthy body, sound mind, and thus re-strengthen our minds to lead a normal life post-pandemic. Additionally, we must have an attitude to be resilient enough to bounce back from and fight with the difficulties of life. Resilient people maintain a more positive outlook and cope up with the difficulties more effectively. There are some ways of enhancing resilience. For example, finding a sense of purpose, believe in your abilities, develop a strong social network, embrace change, be optimistic, nurture yourself, develop the problem-solving skills, establish your goals, take action, keep working on your skills, etc. It is not that only the strongest of the species survives, nor that the most intelligent conquers. It is the one who is most adaptable to the changes. Thank you all.
Thank you for her. By being resilient, one can cope up with the difficulties. Many ways are there to enhance resilience. I wish to discuss what we learned from this pandemic in the healthcare sector. The world has an opportunity to harness the lessons and innovation from the pandemic to create and more equitable societies, to build resilience in the global medical infrastructure. Our healthcare system have moved leaps and bounds in their abilities to enhance healthcare access through telemedicine and other forms of digital health. We have an opportunity to build global resilience to the inevitable future pandemics. We need to harness the energy and the spirit brought about the pandemic to facilitate the creation of interdisciplinary solutions. Thank you.
The next step to re-strengthen our mind is to understand and embrace our relationship with nature. This will provide us the best opportunity for positive change post-pandemic. Humans have evolved alongside plants, and we intuitively know that they hold the answers to many of our mental, physical, and emotional challenges. While facing extreme fear and uncertainty around COVID-19, we took up gardening. We re-energized the market for houseplants and stocked up on healthy foods and natural supplements. We know that our resilience as a species is dependent on developing a better understanding of our connections to the natural world. This moment of renewed enthusiasm for the natural world can be a powerful catalyst. It is time not only to get back to nature, but more deeply understand and respect the benefits it provides us.
I, Akshata, wish to throw some lines. How can we re-strengthen our minds post-pandemic by connecting globally? We need to be connected globally in the true sense of word. The novel coronavirus has given countries, big and small, rich and poor, the unexpected opportunity to rethink and redevelop their own local supply networks. Countries do not need to build the entire product. They can build parts and share them among their neighbors. By manufacturing and distributing, local communities will thrive. In this way, there will be more equity and we will be strengthened by connecting globally.
I do agree with you that we should be globally connected to strengthen ourselves. But before connecting globally, we should connect with ourselves. You may be thinking, how can we do that? There are a number of ways like meditation, self-talk, yoga, pranayam, and many more. But self-analysis is the best way to keep ourselves strong. We should compare ourselves with ourselves only. This can be done by asking these questions. Am I a better person than I was? How can I be a better person than I am today? We should keep an eye on our performance regularly, forgetting about past and future. Prove your self-worth as it is directly related to your self-confidence. It will lead to emotional health. So, spend some time in building up your self-worth as you spend time in building up your physical health and intelligence. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Vibhor Sharma of class 6th. Today I am going to present a symposium. I remember one short story of a young boy. How does he do the self-appreciation and become a great example for us that we should not feel disappointed? Keep on trying to be better every day. The little boy went into a grocery store, reached for a soda carton, and pulled it over to the telephone. He climbed on the carton so that he could reach buttons on the phone and starting punching on the button the phone number. The store owner listened to the conversation that followed. The boy asked the man, "Can you give me the job of cutting your lawn?" "Woman, I have hired someone to cut my lawn." "Ma'am, I will cut your lawn for the half price of the person who will be cutting your lawn now." "Woman," I respond, "I am very satisfied with the person who is presently cutting my lawn." "Ma'am, I have even swept your curb and your sidewalk. So on Sunday you will have a protest lawn in your area." Woman answered, "No, thank you." With a smile on his face, the little boy replaced the service. The grocery store owner, who was listening to all this, walked over the boy and said, "Son, I like your attitude. I like the positive spirit that would you like to offer a job?" The little boy replied, "No, thanks. I was just checking my performance at the job I have earlier had. I am the one who is working for that lady I was talking to. What can be the better example than this story to be proud of our achievement and candidate about our weakness? Thank you. Have a nice day.
Hello everyone, I am Jigyasa from class 6A. Today I am here to speak about symposium. My topic is future pandemic. We must be ready to protect ourselves from future pandemic. It has drastically increased awareness and highlighted the importance of adapted behavior, pathogen testing, and outbreak tracing. Lives can be saved globally, and this is the biggest opportunity that pandemic has provided us. We dare to challenge convention ways to solve this problem. Global change will also require productive multi-stakeholder collaboration on a local, national and global level. Nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more that we may fear less. Thank you everyone and have a nice day.
Good morning. I am Harsh from class 6B. The worldwide outbreak of coronavirus disease COVID-19 is a source of unexpected stress and difficulty for many people, mainly for students and teachers. Re-strengthening of the mind will help in overcoming the after effects of this deadly pandemic. A strong mind can help in combating the after effects of COVID-19. So what can we do to build up and strengthen our mind the hard times ahead? As human beings, we all share the same sorrows, the same hopes, and the same potential. The COVID-19 pandemic has reminded us how interdependent we are. What happens to one person can soon affect many others, even on the far side of our planet. The current global health crisis also reminds us that what affects the human family has to be addressed by all of us. The solution to this that we must come together and spend time with family and should adopt a positive approach towards life. In this way, we all will be able to win over the aftermath of COVID-19 pandemic. With this positive note, I wish you all a happy and fruitful life ahead. Thank you so much.
Strengthening the mind post pandemic. Life has to move forward. Everything has its time and everything has its end. Thank you all the speakers for such a quite healthy discussion. We come to the conclusion that though this pandemic has impacted each one of us to some extent, but it has taught us a lot. Everything may end tomorrow. So focus on what is important to us. When all this will be over, earth will continue to spin and life will flow again. Let us be mindful of our earth and it will be kind to us. More than 8 months have passed since WHO, World Health Organization, has declared the COVID-19 pandemic. Remember that there is no rainbow without rain. We are not powerless. Remember, there is good in every evil. Life is a lesson we learn every day and we will continue to learn every day. Everything doesn't have to be perfect. Enjoy your life in life and appreciate for whatever you have. Just think about the fact that there are people in the world with less. Be happy and positive for everything you have around you and you will become a strong person. Last I am going to recite a small poem. Your path may be wrong. Your way also can be the same. But if you only blame, the things may turn more sore. So don't turn behind and see, life is waiting for you to thee. New things for you to feel special, new things for you to smile. Stay positive and friendly all the while. Thanking you, be happy, be safe.
After symposium, it's time for the open letters by our Chief Guest Director Sir, Guest of Honor Mr. Virendra Sharma, ICC Umpire, and by our Principal Sir.
I'm highly obliged to Birla School Pilani for giving me this opportunity to be a part of the Fit India campaign organized by the CBSE from 14th to 19th December 2020. As we all are aware that the entire world is severely affected by the hazard of COVID-19 pandemic. The entire system of working in the world has changed and so have the outline of academics. In the present scenario, it is considered sagacious and conducive to conduct all the activities on the online platform as no other means can ensure as much safety to the future of our nation. Thanks to the efforts of the teachers and the school managements who have worked tirelessly to ensure that the students remain abreast with their academic and curricular activities even during these precarious circumstances. Fit India campaign by the CBSE has indeed delighted me as nothing can substitute for a healthy body and sound mind. The set of activities suggested by the CBSE will certainly help the students learn more about the importance of fitness and will enlighten them to seek and endeavor good health by incorporating healthy habits suggested by their counterparts. I would extend my best wishes to the management, staff and the students for this campaign. Dear all, it is very important to stay fit and healthy to survive in this tough world today. Moreover, this pandemic has made us helpless. Almost all human beings are in distressed and confused as what to do and how to survive. I hereby suggest to each and every individual to perform physical exercises to stay fit. Some of us for regress exercise to lose weight or to look smart, whatever the reason. It is essential to exercise at least 40 minutes a day. All physical exercises not only keep us fit but also develops and builds immunity in our bodies. Best wishes to stay fit and healthy.
And with this, we come to the end of the day 2 activities. Hoping sincerely that you all enjoyed our efforts, we call it a day.